This conference will now be recorded.
All right, good evening. Let's go ahead and get the Planning Commission meeting started. If you would, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. Okay, thank you. We do have a quorum present. All members of the Planning Commission are present tonight. Usual reminder, if you're going to speak, please be sure that your microphone is on. We need to adopt the agenda, which is blessedly short. Any additions or comments to make?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented. Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to adopt the agenda as presented. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Take a minute for any public comment before we start. We don't seem to have very many. Is anyone online? No one online. Okay, thank you. New minute business, we need to adopt the minutes from January 15th.
Move to adopt the minutes as submitted.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to adopt the minutes for January 15th as submitted. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, thank you. We have basically one public hearing tonight. One of the cases that has been withdrawn, so we'll start with case number RZ-10-30-24-02, Virginia Lawnscapes, proposed rezoning. This is the second workshop for this. Michael and Rachel Williams have applied to rezone parcel 55-351 from A1 Agriculture to B1 Business. The rezoning application comes because of a notice of violation issued by the zoning administrator on June 11th, 2024. The applicants used the subject parcel to garage landscaping equipment. The subject improvements are accessory use to the applicant's service business, which is allowable in B1 zoning, but not in A1 zoning. Mr. Nichols, anything to add there?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Clearly, our applicants are not here tonight. Janet tells me that she did make phone contact with them earlier, so we don't know why they're not here. We hope that they're okay, certainly. I do have one additional piece of information to add that was not available at the last workshop. The applicants informed me that they have done soil work in anticipation of installing a septic system and a bathroom on the property. The soil work had been completed at the time of the last Planning Commission meeting, but they chose not to say anything about it. Mr. Williams told me that as soon as the rezoning was approved, he intended to proceed with the bathroom, but wanted to make sure that went well so his business could continue before spending any more money on it. So that's all I have to add.
Okay, and this is a second workshop, is that correct?
This is joint hearing, sir.
All right, so I was wondering about that. Okay, this is not a second workshop, this is joint hearing, okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, any questions for Mr. Nichols? Since the applicants are not here. Okay, apparently not. We don't seem to have any public comments tonight. Is there any recommendation on this case?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that case number RZ-10-30-24-2 be recommended to the Board of Supervisors for approval.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to recommend case number RZ-10-30-24-02 for approval to the Board of Supervisors. Any further discussion?
Yeah, is there any time frame in which the septic will be placed in service?
I'm not aware of any unless, except for the applicant's comment to me that said he was simply waiting for this to be approved and then was ready to proceed.
But if he chooses not to, then we have no say.
If he chooses not to, and we come to discover that employees are working on the property for more than just dropping off and picking up equipment, then I'm quite sure that the health department and our tenacious building official will ensure that they proceed.
Thank you.
Okay, any further discussion? All right, the motion having been made and seconded, is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, thank you. Okay, Alan, rather than for me to read all these, since these are upcoming things, you want to just go through them real quick for us?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'm happy to.
Excuse me,
Okay.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman. On the other items from the Planning Commission, staff, public, Mr. Nichols, if you could, I was just kind of curious about why Mrs. Hoffner withdrew her application. If you could tell us a little bit about that.
Mrs. Hoffner approached me after the second workshop. She called me on the phone. And I'm sure we all observed after the last workshop, she'd had some pushback from her neighbors. And folks had generally said that they were willing to, for her business to be there, but they wanted some conditions. They had conversation in the lobby, and on they went. Apparently not all neighbors felt that way, and the applicant felt bullied by some of the neighbors to such an extent that she withdrew her application.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Shall we proceed to the upcoming case workshops?
All right. So I'm going to mention them off of our agenda here, and then I have a few to add from PDRC that occurred yesterday that did not make it to the agenda. Mr. Josh Heggie, Blue Ridge Ag, he's coming up for second workshop in a couple weeks to discuss the recovery of the by right uses for the B1 zoning portion of his property on Seminole Trail. We're going to see the second workshop for Anabaptist Health Share. It's Al Esch's project he's got on South Seminole Trail. We're going to continue to review the personal campground definition. Take a peek really quick. I had already pulled it up for the additional cases that have come through PDRC. This schedule is tentative. I'm expecting to see one more. Got Jonathan Nichols, has a no relation, has a large property in around Kinderhook, which he would like to rezone a portion of it from C1 to A1. Two Rivers is a small campground off of Clore Road that we discovered. Ms. Gary's, who had was operating. She thought she was permitted for everything she needed, but in fact, our ordinance does require a permit. Black Cat Antiques is an antique shop that intends on opening in the former Roaring Twenties Antique Car Museum off of Wolftown Hood Road. I included the auction services ordinance in here, as this particular group would like to do online auctions and have pickup at their site as well. AC Limited Partnership has a small parcel on South Seminole Trail that they would like to rezone to B1. They told me that they don't have a project in mind yet, but it's speculative in nature. They may choose to dispose of the property. Personal campground definition, and then if we have anything to add to the comprehensive plan, in the next day or two, I will send all of you the most recent revision after our last workshop. I saw Mr. Peter Work today. He stopped in the office and has given me all of his grammatical and formatting corrections. I don't know if there's any content in there. I don't think there is, or he would have told me. So as soon as I run through all those things, I'll be more than happy to deliver to all of you the latest and greatest copy. I am anticipating one more item to come up on the agenda, which will be a 4-lot subdivision off of Beamtown Road. We will see if that comes to fruition.
Okay, thank you. Well, it's on the agenda, so is there any other public comment at this time? Any public comment online?
Steve, I got one comment.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Nicholson, Josh, that's doing this place down here, Blackwood, that wants to add more to his B1. He started hauling dirt in there from out of Charlottesville. No silt fence, no nothing. He's just going to work. Somebody needs to look into it.
I visited the site today. I was out there with our E&S administrator, Mr. Sexton. Joe did observe his silt fence was installed. He does have his permits in place like he's supposed to. His activity that's there is permitted. So he is proper where he is.
Okay, any further public comment? All right. If not, can I hear a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. 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 Any opposed? Thank you.
Well, this has been one of the best planning meetings I ever remember. Thank you. We do have a quorum. We do need to adopt an agenda. Anything we need to add to the agenda this evening? Gentlemen? Anything down there? What would y'all like to do with the agenda?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Public comment? Zero. No one's even, not even Tracy. All right, we're gonna do it again. Ms. Hoffner's case has been withdrawn. Case number RZ-10-30-24-02, Virginia Lawnscapes proposed rezoning. Michael and Rachel Williams have applied to rezone parcel 55-351, or 35I, excuse me, from A1 to B1. The rezoning application comes because of notice of violation issued by the zoning administrator on July 11th, 2024. June, thank you. The applicants use the subject parcel to garage landscaping equipment. The subject improvements are accessory use to the applicant's service business, which is allowable in B1 zoning, but not in A1 zoning. Mr. Nichols, anything to add?
Only that the rezoning of this parcel suits well with our comprehensive plan and our Highway 29 study, and zoning department thinks it should be approved.
Any other comments down there? Any questions for Mr. Nichols or staff? All right, to the applicant, which is not here, and now to the public, which again, not here. Back to the board. What would you like to do? Yeah, very straightforward. And going with Mr. Nichols, we rezoned that lot down from it a couple months back. This is a pretty good thing for Madison.
Would you like a motion, Mr.
Please.
Chairman? Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve case number RZ-10-30-24-02 as recommended by the Planning Commission.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. No new business. Any information and correspondence? I hope, you're gonna send the updated comp plan to not just the planning commission, but the board as well, I hope.
I will, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Back to public comment. Again, 0. What would y'all like to do? Motion's made and seconded. Further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is good. This is good. Y'all set a good tone.